Hey everybody, it's Stitch1993 and welcome to another toy hunt video. I know it's been a while since I've done one of these, and today is a very special toy hunt video because I'm at the 2025 Toylanta. And man, this was probably the best year yet. Of course, I've only been to 2 of these, including this one. So not much to go off here, but it is a lot bigger than it was back when I went here in 2023. And compared to the toy convention I went last year in Greenville, they had the AC on, and as you can see, there was a lot more room to walk around. I brought my wagon. My wife came with me. We both had no problem getting around all these places here. Yeah, you do see there was a couple people on the right hand side there that were celebrities giving autographs, but overall it was just wall to wall, almost floor to ceiling in some places, toys. And that's what I love seeing at these conventions, especially even if I don't buy anything. I just love seeing the variety of toys. This place had a great variety of toys. Whether you were into Star Wars or He-Man or Potato Heads, they had something here at this show. So just sit back and relax for the next 35 minutes while I go over what I saw, and then at the end of the video I'll show you what I bought at this toy fair. So the first thing I notice is these Yoshi's Woolly World amiibos, especially the giant one there. And that was one of the sets I missed out on during the time of the Wii U games coming out. I really liked the demo, but it was just one of the games that I never got my hands on. And of course, I didn't, because I didn't have the money to, so I never got around to getting an amiibo. They were a bit more than I was willing to pay. I know those, especially the yarn ones, are getting a bit up there in price, and I knew that going in there, but I still wanted to see the price. They are about what you would pay on eBay, and so, you know, that was the first pass of the day. I actually bought a lot more than I passed up on, but yeah, so kind of lost my train of thought there. There we go. But yeah, I was just really enjoying the outside of seeing all the cool stuff, really enjoying the air conditioner. It's already starting to get warm here down in Georgia, so anytime you got a place where it's nice and cool, you know, this was $20, so why not? And this show was really impressive to me. I don't remember in 2022, or excuse me, 2023, them really having these like giant setups here, as you can see, for I think that's called Shadow Crucibles or whatever that. A lot of these more indie action figure developers having these big giant almost E3 like setups here. I'm used to more like this booth right here where it's a bunch of tables, maybe a banner behind them, banner in the front, but yeah, they really went all out, and a couple of the booths were like that. This was the first booth of the day that I bought something. Man, this booth had a great variety. As you see, there's Mad Balls, we've got Pac-Man, they had robots, they had some coloring books, they had just a California Raisins, they had just a little bit of everything, and lo and behold, I do collect robots, and this robot machine bank really caught my eye here. It looked like it was complete in the box didn't look too banged up. I couldn't find really a year, and even now I can't find a year on the box, so I'm not really sure when this came out. It could be something that came out in like the 90s or 2000s, or it could have been something newer or older than that. I honestly could not tell, but it looked really good condition, and yeah, I had to get that little guy. Again, looking at all these awesome coloring books there, this guy, or whoever was selling this stuff, they knew how to keep the stuff in good condition. And those records were sealed. I don't know if those were already sealed or those were original packaging there. But it was really cool. Another thing that was really cool was these sky dancers. They had 2 of them. Of course, they were a bit on the pricey side, but my wife has been on the lookout for a sky dancer because that is one of the toys she grew up with. They were a bit out of her price range as well, so she passed on them. And but it was really cool seeing them out in the wild because this is the first time I've seen sky dancers since they were in actual stores. We had some Dukes of Hazzard and these McDonald Land jumbo eraser sets. They were only like $15. So I was really tempted to get them. Looks like they had almost a complete collection there. But it was a little too early to spend all my money at one booth, and I knew I was going to find some other cool stuff there, so I kind of wanted to just keep it to maybe 1 to 2 items per booth. But yeah, this looked like another one of those little kind of like the coin machine robot I had gotten last year, the year before, but Pac-Man themed. He had a lot of Pac-Man stuff, a lot of the original Pac-Man Fever type of stuff there. It was really cool. My wife is a big fan of Sailor Moon, so I had to show her this Sailor Moon alarm clock. Didn't see a price on it, not sure if it worked. It was just really funny seeing a alarm clock that this was probably something you picked up at Walmart or Target back in the day when it was big. There, just stuff to decorate the room to be all Sailor Moon themed. Now, of course, for this toy hunt, like any toy hunt, I'm on the lookout mainly for potato heads. I'm on the lookout for some robot toys. I'm on the lookout for Toy Story toys, and that's a really thin line there of Toy Story toys because there's only so many that are left in the collection of stuff I do not own. It's mainly Mr. Mike and some of the stuff from Toy Story 3. Pretty much everything else that I want, I have been able to find. So, and VHSs. So, especially, videos or movies and shows that were exclusive to VHS. For, of course, the VHS File series. And yeah, it was this was a great booth really to start out with. There, I even like that Little Tykes toy box there you kind of see for a little bit there. And some Nikes, I think those are Nikes. They were just really cool overall. Then we get to this next booth, and they had a lot of cool Disney stuff there. You see that purse there. My wife picked up that purse, but they had like a bunch of like the McDonald toys and stuff there. And as much as I'm not a fan of Pokemon, even like the toys, it was really cool seeing all those old Burger King and McDonald's toys there, and for really decent prices. That Psyduck just kind of looked derpy. I don't know, it was something about the bill just didn't look right. And hey, look, there's a Potato Head. One I already own, but that was a good sign that I got to see Potato Heads at this convention. And I'm not a big fan also of the Harry Potter series, but it was cool seeing a complete in-box Lego Creator video game. I have the original. This just kind of was an expansion that was the Harry Potter themed stuff, so it wasn't really, and although I do, enjoy the Lego game series, the creator's set just never really caught my attention. I guess, as I said, I had the first one, and it was fine. Yeah, I had to show that purse to my wife because she collects Disney stuff, so it was really cool seeing that purse there. I was also seeing that Stitch McDonald's bag there. Just a bunch of stuff. That Flubber. So I recently picked up one of those at the Cobb Antique Mall. I didn't film it But yeah, I did find that one, and he was really cool. Apparently, I think he's supposed to like one of those slam toys where you slam it and it makes noise. But I didn't want to slam the toy and break it, and the one I got, it doesn't make noise. So, oh well. Really, a lot of the toys from the 90s that have batteries aren't really going to work. He had some, the little golden books and some Disney books, and they had some comic books there. And the first one, of course, that I pull is Toy Story. And it's a really interesting Toy Story comic book, as we'll see later on in this video. This next booth had just kind of a hodgepodge of stuff that just kind of really, piqued my interest. I don't think I bought anything from this booth, but they just had a lot. So I had to look at it all. They had a Small Soldiers video game, board game, excuse me. They had a couple video games there. A Weird Creepy Clown. One of the Sesame Street puppets, Count. And a Teddy Ruxpin. Now again, I am on the lookout for a Teddy Ruxpin, but I want a Teddy Ruxpin that is in the box. Of course, this one's not. That's just a really interesting, I believe that's the robot from Lost in Space. That's a really interesting Lost in Space Pez dispenser there. Really large one. I don't collect for that series, but it was cool seeing that. Yeah, we got Gnipgana, the 2XL robot. Yeah, Laura, look, more Lost in Space. Giant Cooties. And then at the next booth, they had a doll or action figure, whatever you want to call it, that I don't really see a lot. It was a Atlantis Milo figure, and I know that they did make toys for Atlantis. I just didn't know that they made toys for Milo. I've only ever seen, the ones for Kita, I believe is her name. So that was really cool. Now, they did have some McDonald's figures, and I do have a Mayor McCheese. These were complete in box, though, and that Professor was pretty decently priced for only $45. However, I don't need them in the box. I do want them loose, just because they are cheaper loose. But it was, something I didn't really need, so I kind of passed on them. Now, this next booth, I believe, had a pretty decent selection as well. I mean, these all had great selections there. But this one, I believe, had something I actually picked up. You don't see a Tingle plush that often, so it was kind of cool here. Yeah, this was cool. This McNugget Buddies A Masquerade Ball board game. They wanted $100 for it, but I don't blame them because it was sealed. And it had some McNugget Buddies, 3 of which, actually all 4 of those I didn't own at the time. But again, it was $100. That was a little bit more than I was willing to pay, even though it was, in mint condition there. So I did pass on it. But it was still cool seeing that, because I didn't even know that board game existed. So I am going to do some more research on it, see if I can find a used copy there. They had some, I guess these were just like storybooks of some sort. There's the Nintendo Power trading cards there, along with this Great Space Coaster Fun Pad. You don't see a lot of Great Space Coaster stuff around, so this was really cool. If I knew more about the series, I might have picked it up. But I know very little about that series, as well as these weird teddy bears things with a weird little nose. I have no clue what they're called, but they looked really weird and really cool. And they went right with all the 90s aesthetic of the Care Bears and everything. I know a little bit about this. I think they're called Moon Dreamers. Yeah, I've seen pictures of them, but that was cool seeing them in wild. I am looking out for Bucky O'Hare figures. These were decently priced. I don't know why I didn't pick any of them up, because it looked like they all had all their accessories. I believe it was because I have recently picked some up. I just don't remember which ones I have, so I don't want to buy doubles of them already. Hey, look, another potato head. This was one I didn't have. It was decently priced. However, I didn't know if it had all the pieces to it. I am trying to find them complete. And it just kind of, the box wasn't in the best of shape, and I didn't want to bother the person to pull it down, look at it, just to have them put it back up there. So I did pass on. However, this was the first booth that I did find some potato heads at. This was really cool, the Hello Kitty thing, but this person had a bunch of McDonald's and Burger King, Wendy's, you name it, Happy Meal toys. And lo and behold, I see some of the Potato Head kids and McNugget buddies. He had a whole little, looks like a box that you put like baseball cards in. I took the Minion out because I didn't need the Minion, but yeah, and I looked at stuff those other Potato Head kids in there as well. Looks like he might have had more earlier, but oh well, he had a good bit of them. I just took the whole box with me. I mean, he kept the box, but everything in there, yeah, I was going to sort it out later, but it looks like it might have been mostly one of each of some stuff, maybe some extras pieces in there, but it didn't matter. I needed that for my collection. This place also had some cool board games and video games. I was on the lookout for a couple video games. As you probably have heard in some of my videos, when I'm out toy hunting, I'm not really in a video game hunting mood, and then when I'm out video game hunting, I'm not really in a toy hunting mood. I try to keep them separate, but there was a couple toys that I was, or a couple video games I was looking out for. They didn't have them here. That was cool seeing that Star Trek book to record by Peter Pan in there, as well as some other of the smaller book to records. I'm looking out for a Tron one. I don't know if they made one, but I mean, heck, they made one out of the black hole, so somewhere out there has to be a Tron one. Yeah, this one was just a hodgepodge. Mainly, he had a lot of that Return of the Jedi Darth Vader one. So that was just really cool to see all those. And then as I'm waiting for my wife to get done looking at a booth, I spot this shelf of board games. And there was one particular board game. I was like, I have to buy it because it was a board game of my childhood. I had it grown up and I played it until the dog wheels wore out. It was that board game, Frady Cats. He had 2 copies of it. One said it was missing some pieces, and one said it was complete in box. However, I should have opened both boxes to make sure that they were labeled correctly, because I picked the one that said complete in box, and it wasn't complete in box. So I did have to go on eBay later that day and find the missing pieces, which means this is on me. I'm not blaming the seller. I think it just was, these were little sticky notes, and it could have, the seller could have accidentally checked and made sure and then put the sticky notes on the wrong boxes, or the sticky notes fell off and he just put them back on before putting them on the shelf. It felt heavy enough to where it had all the parts in there, so it was like, it's got to have all the pieces to it. But it's not, again, this is all on me for not checking. I should have just, he had some tables. I could just think as much. Sat it down, opened the box, saw that it was missing. It was missing the board, and it was missing little clips that you keep the fence from moving around. It had everything else. It had the fences, had the doghouse, had the dog, had all the playing pieces, had the die. So it had like 75% of it. So, and the parts that it was missing, they were pretty cheap to find online. So I was like, it's nothing like, oh my goodness, I paid $40 in open box and there was like nothing in it. No, this was mostly, you know, and thankfully it's not a rare board game. So yeah, there you have it. Yeah, I was looking at the Sailor Moon stuff because my wife was interested in it. I kind of pointed a couple things out to her, but she's very picky with her Sailor Moon stuff, so she didn't pick anything up from this booth. There was some video games. I kind of scanned over them because I wasn't really, you know, in a video game mood. Though I didn't see that F-Zero GX. I should have checked and seen how much that was. You did have a lot of Nintendo powers, and I was like, well, if I have any more money, I will go back and pick some of these Nintendo powers out, because I am trying to complete my Nintendo Power collection. But I did use pretty much all my money up here. I did get to check out Second Chance's booth. There's David. And yeah, if you haven't checked out Second Chance in Marietta, Georgia, definitely go check them out. They got a great selection of toys from, you know, 80s, 90s, 2000s. And they were the ones that I got the Toy Story toys from back in November at the Greenville Toy Convention. Anytime you go there, you know, even if you don't pick up anything from their store, they have a wonderful selection there, and, you know, highly recommend giving them a check out. Alright, so this place was so huge that they had to use 2 floors. So now we're on the second floor. And on the second floor, it's a lot more smaller rooms, but it was still roomy enough for all of us to walk in and out of. And on this little room in particular, they had a lot of just kind of hodgepodge of action figures there. And I found a Robotron figurine. I'm sorry, not Robotron, Roboforce. One of the figures I don't have. This was 100, I believe. And yeah, it looks like, you know, he would have one gun. It looks like all the pieces were working there. So, you know, had to pick him up for my Roboforce collection. And then in this other booth, they had some stick fuzz. Now, if you don't know what stick fuzz are, I won't blame you. They were pretty niche figurine model kit series in the 90s and early 2000s. I had a couple of them, including that Robo with the teddy bear there. And if you ever saw my first video on YouTube, the hamster dance video, for a quick second, you can see some stick fuzz dancing around in there, just doing the little can dance. And then
100%, please do.
So I know you do a lot of He-Man on your main channel.
I do, yes.
And so on my channel, I review a lot of potato heads.
Really?
Yes. So I have over 100 potato heads.
Oh.
And I bought these. I bought a copy for myself and then a copy for you because I kind of figured as soon as I saw it, I was like, he's going to need this for his collection.
Oh, okay.
And
All
I
right.
think you've seen them before when you went to the Toy Division, New York Toy
Oh, Toy Fair. Yeah, Toy Fair. Yeah. So these are the Pop-Taters. Oh my gosh, dude, this is so amazing. Best Skeletor ever.
I was like, oh man.
I didn't even realize these were already like shipping. That's amazing.
Yeah. So I don't know when they started releasing them. I found like somebody selling them on eBay. So
Yeah.
go ahead and buy them.
There it is. The best He-Man likeness, yes. Dude, this is amazing, man. Thank you very much for this. Oh, dude, I love them. I love them. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. If you want me to get rid of it, I can probably just keep the trash stuff back here. Yeah, man. That's so cool. That's so nice of you to think of me on that. I love that Skeletor.
Right?
Yeah. So that's what you focus on, potato heads? Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool.
I've been collecting them since I could have toys.
Yeah.
So I've got some as far back as the 1950s,
Right.
1960s,
Right.
up until the newest ones.
So
There, yeah.
that is so cool. Yeah, it's neat that they've got all these different like pop culture ones that they're doing. I think it's so funny, like, because I pointed that out at Toy Fair, that like it's Super Impulse that's releasing these. So it's so weird to me that this is a Mattel property matched with a Hasbro property being released by Super Impulse. It's like, well, that is the weirdest, like, what a weird time to be in toys right now. Like, that's wild. I love it, man. I love it. Thank you so much. I do.
And then after meeting up with Pixel Dan, I found another potato head. Again, one I don't own. This was that, looks like he was supposed to be a clone trooper from Star Wars episodes 2 and 3, or the Star Wars The Clone Wars animated series. But again, just one I didn't have, so I had to pick him up. And this guy was selling on some really cool prints there. I'll show you which one my wife got me at the end of this video. But she picked up at that X-Men one you see right there. And man, this guy is great. His name I'll post down in the information on this video. Check out his website. He's got a lot of cool prints. Really great kind guy. And yeah, lastly, my wife found some Betty Spaghettis. And that was it. Again, this was a great show. Probably my favorite toy convention to go to is Toylanta. Of course, it kind of helps that it's not that far away from me. It's about an hour-long drive. So, yeah, you know, on top of that, a lot of great stuff here. As you saw, I found a bunch of stuff. So, what all did I pick up? Well, as I said before, I picked up that Frady Cats board game. I got the Clone Tuber Potato Head. I got that 100 RoboForce figure. That Toy Story Marvel comic, which was actually just using stills from the movie in comic book form, and it's the entire movie from beginning to end in comic book form. That robot machine bank, and here's a little video of that robot machine bank in motion. Then I got those Potato Head Kids and the McNugget Buddies set. I got 3 McNugget Buddies, technically 4, one was a duplicate, and then 3 Potato Head Kids. I got this awesome Pikmin print by Andrew Heath. Again, his website will be down in the information section of this video below. And then, of course, I had to get one of Pixel Dan's shirts. Great colors, great artwork, everything there. And yeah, that was my haul from Toylanta 2025. I'll probably go again, if not next year, the year after that. And yeah, what did you guys think? Did any of you attend? And if so, what did you pick up? Or what did you see in the video that you would have picked up if you had gone? And until next time, thank you and have a good day. Bye-bye.